and sending tens all the way back. Zumba just on that corner. The rest waiting patiently. This is now a matter of patience. We're going to have 4 alive, and that's what they want to keep.
Put tens in a 1v4 in the pistol round.
Here we go.
Do we start as we mean to carry on?
First challenge, maybe Bunny, or someone takes contact, maybe from Madonna. It looks like Bunny will be the first challenge. He's tucked himself in so deep, though. Tough angle to clear, and Bunny's got it. Okay, F4Q, round 1 in the pocket. Now, let's actually talk a little about Breeze coming in here, because this was something that caught our eye.
Yes.
And we're going to see how that echoes further in this tournament.
Again, there's always going to be a discussion around a match like this of what's it worth, right? And I know the Death started touching on this, and I actually like this concept of kind of protecting the map pool. On the side of Sentinels, we don't want to give too much away, but also we don't want to go to maps where potentially, you know, we've addressed our Instaban, we've addressed, you know, other maps like Bind, Icebox, and especially when you're coming off the back of that loss from G2, where there's going to be a lot of people now with a fine-tooth comb going through all the footage available.
Everything. Every single thing.
It's very interesting. Again, Breeze something that Sentinels have shown they can play it.
Sure.
But what's the validity of that against some of the other teams at this stage of the tournament? A couple of Marshals invested here, Lauren. Again, I think Sentinels
Tens,
just,
Marshall,
shocker.
Full buy.
Shocker, basically.
Yeah, just throw a classic on the side of it and you're doing pretty well. But Sick has been found first and foremostly, so that's going to be a good start. They're probably quite pleased with that. And see if Tens get anything else going. No one's really peeking overzealously. You can see them sitting relatively deep, but the purchase isn't phenomenal for F4Q either. So 5k, caution going to be shown on the angle. Will be willing to fall back from it.
Yeah, at this point, just looking for them to manage this round as best as possible. Again, looking for majority left standing and carry those weapons across.
Got a nice crunch towards this site. There's no one sitting, I guess, quick CT side. That Sky can hit the rotation quickly, but there's a fair amount of pressure on Esperanza and Zunba. Still got the pop flash, plenty of walls to work off as well, so keep your eyes on what Zunba does with this if he feels like he can. But the problem is now he's alone. Esperanza's gone down, now he's got troubles, and away he goes. Dips out of the site, he joins his comrade towards that CT side, but Sentinels, they've got the site and probably a decent post plant.
We have indeed. Two Marshals, but tens will open up. There's
He's seen another.
He's seen another. No damage done, though.
Okay, Bunny finds it through the wall. Something they desperately needed was a quick kill to come in before that momentum swung and his post-plant became too much to handle. Shaz only good for 1, but his Zomb's in a 1v1. Classic by his side, 5k. Better equipped, but the timing, he's playing this nicely. Zombs, he's playing around that pillar. He finds the angle. He gets the shot as well. Sentinels are always scary, and it's a thrifty round in the pocket. And maybe we talk about tens on the Marshal, but the rest of them super diligent too.
Really well played, actually, and that's after Zumba being able to escape and effectively add an extra body to that retake. Esperanza, very late usage of the wall as well. Again, just anticipating that, and it's the sort of thing I look to here, really, is kind of not over-investing in the early round again. At this point, I think they had a pretty good idea it was going to be towards that B site, but things right back. 1-1. Again, on the other side, 2 Marshals invested here. So again, same thing goes. F4Q just looking to do a little damage here.
Here.
I do want to see if Sentinels do start exploring tunnel, and I always like to see if teams start leaning towards it, especially without that Cypher, see how it works with the KJ, see how the utility kind of plays out. For now, Zombs is the one testing that, kind of, you know, dipping the toe. Not too much to write home, really, just as said. Maybe feeling out for a stack, making sure they keep in mind where players are. They had a fair amount of contact through on that A site, so a B lean's not a bad shout.
I think Sentinel's got a pretty good idea of what's going on here, and it will be a wide open B site for them. The ball's going to go up. Good.
Tens. Good positioning from him here.
Shazam's in a big spot, actually.
Oh, excuse me, it is Shazam. This is going to be the interesting one if he actually gets the timing right, but he's actually fallen back towards site, so the three players... Yeah, you're right. So this could be interesting to see how this one develops. Bunny did find Dapper, so it's the next step, but Sick pushed up here is in a nasty spot for Bunny to clear. And Shazam maybe starting to feel that pressure. The timing starts to work out well. He can fall away, 20 HP. Needs to slip away a little. Make sure he's untradeable to that classic. Spams away. Really well handled under pressure there for Shaz. But again, we didn't see too much, I guess, mayhem being created for F4Q to find those opportunities.
No, and only 1 kill as well. It's only Dapper to lose out on 1 weapon effectively. Again, tens on 3 and 2. We're going to have decent progress already here towards the Blade Storm. an opportunity, I guess, a round later than expected, but now the opportunity to convert what would, in essence, be a bonus round. But the fact that they flip round 2,
delayed, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So a little off kilter here in terms of the timeline, but 5K got the Seekers online. Bunny one away from the Blade Storm as well. See, decent ultimate progression on both sides of the scoreboard.
Ooh, quick flash towards middle. Going to give away that there's at least early intent, but it is Shaz and Tens building through this. But oh no, that's not good for Zumba. That's really bad position, being caught out. Maybe assuming that that player leaning a little deeper would have seen that. It wasn't even available as an angle. Tens just going to keep powering forward. 5K's not got a hope in hell. Sentinels just won every single mid battle and then went, well, I guess we can peek the sights then.
I guess we can start swinging into double doors and whatnot. I actually thought Tens connected with that bullet there on that transfer, but the Prime Gaming flawless coming through for Sentinels. Again on the back. This initial flash, obviously, it gives away the information, but at that point, I'm not so sure about the double walk. Again, Zumba's holding on to elbow there to make sure there's no counter peek, I guess, on the back of that flash, but I almost feel like Bunny's in no man's land there, kind of drifting down. There's nothing in place behind that flash for F4Q.
And now you can see again the money's going to just start being ripped away, and Bunny looking for an opportunity, and it is so, I don't know, strange to see him on anything but that raise, but we'll see that diligence coming through as he's going to be actually around behind them. This is a bit of a dream come true. If Athena can buy a bit of time, be a bit of a nuisance, tag him up a bit, show some presence, and there we go. Bunny does find one. Shaz now goes down. You can see the quickness trying to be added to this hit, but he's so aware. Bunny even turns around. What a read from Bunny. Full awareness now, gets himself out a little overzealous, and Tens will drag you right back down to earth.
Esperanza with a Marshall in hand. Yeah, actually, one shot on one, but Tens dashing all over the place. We'll find the final kill there. Sentinels go 4-1 ahead. Decent damage done at this point. A couple of rounds strung together. It's not really worth much unless they win the next round and force a full repurchase here. Bunny in a position right behind Shazam to find that. Sick will follow up, but I love the awareness here from Bunny. Anticipating Dapper to come through and go, just reinforce that control.
Yeah, and while all this happens, obviously Tens has just been the absolute linchpin of that round for Sentinels. Without him, that could have looked extremely different, but hey, look, it must be nice to have Tens. I mean,
oh yes,
almost not unquestionably, but truly one of the better players this game has had to this point.
Well, I mean, last time when we saw Tens on Breeze, it looked like a deathmatch lobby, yeah, I'll be honest.
It was pretty brutal.
32-7 last time.
Yeah, he's quite good.
He's
not bad,
he's
that
right,
player. Yeah, he's all right. And I love the entire narrative behind Sentinels, even leading into this, like finding their form, and these players just seem to gel so well together. And Tens is just, as said, the cherry on the cake, truly. At this point, though, we do have the buy coming out for F4Q, so this could be where they do a little more. The pop flash is not going to catch off too many of the players, but the swing from double door does. Athena actually managing to find Tens there with a bit of a draw of attention, maybe towards that elbow side, connector side, and the top of mid. So nice approach there. Good first pick. We haven't seen many untraded first picks here. No,
and that's actually something important to keep note of. If now with Sentinels start feeling themselves, Tens start feeling themselves, Bunny does catch the timing there on Shazam's cross, but look towards Tens being kind of isolated early on in mid, being that solo aggressor for Sentinels. If F4Q can shut that down, it's a start. Zom's actually going to backstab Zumba and Ness, so that opens up B side actually in a split potential, but 5K there with a
30
headshot.
seconds left.
Glad they were still keeping it in mind. I was getting worried that was left wide open for the walk-up, but it is down to 2, Dapper and Sick. Having to respect this. Esperanza on the back of the site, patience being shown. Doesn't need to overpeak this, can call for rotations. They're a little further out, so buying time is also high on the priority list. 13 seconds, he does go down, but it's very well traded in the end by 5K. And now Sick in the 1v3 has got Seekers, has 2 flashes to play with as well, just maybe equaling out that prior flash. And I love that flash behind him so he can get the peek on it. He doesn't find the player, but now he does. 5K's gone down, Seekers go out. He is all in on this one, but he knows they're close. Can't spray well enough, and Athena is right there. F4Q back in the game.
Again, just before that round started, looking for them to force the full repurchase here, and that round win will do just that. We'll keep the Sentinels economy shackled for the time being. Again, little respect, Sick just throwing everything in to try and close that one out. But it's these 2 first kills, again, Shazam following up solo as well, after actually F4Q. I mean, you see that in the kill feed, you think, we should push a little bit. Should we explore mid a little bit?
Maybe.
Thank you!
Well, it's seeming like that one was gifted to them, but they did have to work for that one.
Hey, look, if they're starting to work out how to control middle a little, and even if it is that op coming to play, a little bit of nice, I guess awareness of that mid pressure, I want to see what the response is from Sentinels, because I feel like they're going to feel a bit red there, and they might now apply pressure elsewhere. So it looks like that's already the case. Walking up through Tube as well, you're going to have a couple of players progressing that way. Dapper being one already, going to show presence, so Zumba's got to be real careful. He's in between a rock and a hard place. Look at this, already going to be chunked down. We'll get it back, but by this point you can see Zoms has already progressed quite nicely with Dapper. There we go, just combine the two. We stand. At this point though, Sentinels have so much map control. Look at the site. Like, this is a horrible position for Athena. They have completely crunched the site perfectly. Great approach on the back of it. Bunny is still around, but it's 5k. That's a big kill coming in on Dapper.
It's actually down to a 3v3 here. Ten's posted up.
Here.
Try and hold this angle, but all three members of F4Q stacked up here, and actually again late investment of the wall. Good opportunity for the retake, but Tens, like I said, posted will find 5k.
Oh, you know he's looking for that next pick too. Just maybe a second off that little step out there from Bunny. Shazam outdoes him, and now down to one. Esperanza kind of deep towards CT2. Not a clean way to work back in. Shaz can't be at that point, but I love what they did there. That sight hit on A looked so well considered. The push up through Hall, the limited amount of fight back, and then by the time they've got the door open, what was Athena ever meant to do?
Well, the problem being there, obviously, the crunch comes in through Switch, and the recon bolt actually going behind Athena. There's nobody from Bridge that can help him out there.
Nope.
So it's almost like he has to either hold that angle or he has to swing towards Switch when the door opens. And it's that kind of 3 to 4 seconds where everything's happening for Athena. So they isolate that kill, but F4Q responds almost immediately there on the back of Bunny, and then, I don't remember, I think it might have been 5k they found the second kill there to kind of shut that down, but at that point, damage is done. They're in the site. Another round here. Sheriff's a shorty. Ultimate's available, but in this round, questionable. And again, Sentinel's going to look to...
They found a way to exploit it. Yeah, this is easily exploitable, and they found a way to consistently do this. This time, however, of course, for F4Q, they are on the pistols, so it's a little less of a worry to deal with, and harder with a lack of utility to deny. But I think that's something they need to address now. The Sentinels have an easier way in, and there's no playback in through double door. Still a player lingering around, but you can see Bunny and Esperanza not with the best opportunities here.
Alright, that's a real fun Shazam. Tens will trade it. Bunny now, Sheriff in hand. Can't do any further damage here, but 4 members of the Sentinels still alive and kicking. Flash will actually catch, so they know that he's somewhere here. Expecting to start hunting. Tens will run the old bait for them.
Just trade me, guys. Trade me. Doesn't even need it.
They got his trade.
Yeah, easy peasy. Well, now here's the problem. They need to address that Hall presence coming through. They've now had a couple of rounds with that being an issue. But then again, Sentinels could just ignore that part of the map now.
And again, with this composition in particular, yes, you can talk about Athena, but for me, it's Bunny. You get that operator online, and it's one of those positions you can just put him in, hyper focus on that.
Yep.
Again, it's almost got to be 2-1-2. You have to kind of counterbalance that by making sure you can maintain double doors control, obviously A main, and then obviously you have elbow and B site initially to worry about. But he's the one that I think actually for a couple of rounds, once we can get that economy rolling, give him an operator, post him up. That's your only job. Because then effectively they can put 2 on A site.
Yes.
So somebody can look back towards Switch. Like I said, double doors and A main still should be under relatively comfortable control. But it's when all those things aren't done that actually we see things like Athena get completely isolated. They have no mid control to actually swing back around Sentinels. It becomes really difficult to recover.
Well, this is the thing, and this is probably what the timeout is about, if I'm honest. I think this is the time to address those potential concerns. Maybe talk through the options. Do we get aggressive on the extremities to try and retake the space if we are giving up Hall, or do we fight Hall? Like, how do we go around it? As I said, there are options, but then again, the other side of the coin, Sentinels can go, we don't need to do it again. We can pretend we're going to do it. We could show a little leg and then go somewhere else. There's plenty of option here.
I think at this point, if they start getting very proactive, Dapper can just be more of a rat than he usually is. And that's when he'll fight. Because again, they haven't explored the area. They haven't really had any rounds where Dapper's become a factor. If we start pushing out and Dapper finds a 1v1 somewhere or is able to lurk in bottom mid towards that cannon position, then that's when I start getting worried. Because F4Q then have 2 or 3 rounds to play catch up once again.
And here's the switch up back to that mid piece that did get answered to an extent with that A play, which is made very uncomfortable if someone's been hitting tube. So this is actually Sentinels doing this lovely like leapfrog of almost a game of chess. They're countering the piece of adaptation that F4Q has come up with. Now, at this point, though, there's the ult now being popped, and there's problems galore. Phoenix in so much trouble. Yeah, he's down. Sight's now available. They can even send another just to see if they get it. Zumba's there. Pop flash, in we go. Good catch on a few, but it's not enough to do the damage. The rotations are called in. Now, already the spike's being planted. Sentinels are in a great position here.
Spike planted.
Oh, indeed. As Tens actually coming up towards top mid here, and he's going to have a... Yeah, this is a dirty angle. They're not going to be anticipating this at all, but look,
Bunny.
Bottom mid here. Yeah, Bunny, indeed.
It's still Bunny. Now, Bunny's not being subtle with this, though, but he has found every Tens. Oh, that was right on the edge, but Shazam on the site is being the absolute pillar of strength that was required. Zumba's made it to the back of the pillar, but yeah, I don't think he was going to get away with that for much longer, and Bunny's opportunities have now dwindled. Now they're down to nothing, and this is the mind games that Sentinels are just flawless at playing at, knowing exactly how to pressure those kind of pain points that F4Q are trying to address.
Enemy kill.
Really tough. Bunny will get a consolation. Shazam and Sick will be the last two to survive, but I gotta say, in that scenario, knowing full well that Shazam has Hunter's Fury, either Zumba or Athena has to challenge that Aldro, allowing that to come through and not just find a... I don't think it even finds the tag initially, but Shazam is able to locate a player, that being the problem. And second one, straight through his right friend, getting the tag on that recon bolt. But yeah, in that scenario, if you're going to lean that heavily towards B, you got to make sure that your boy on site's not going down, especially to something like a blind Hunter's Fury towards back pillar, because that pressure's building up towards A main. Even if he jumps out from one side or the other, more than likely he's going to die.
A little bit of a different adjustment here, going for that elbow playthrough, and it's quite quick. They're using Sky to full potential to show intent, but there's going to be the KJ ult as well. Pushes them towards that backside of pillar, and they're very aware of this, so I wonder what they've got to clear this out. Maybe just guns out, walk on in, but there's a 4-player lean this side. Now here comes that split through connector though. Six here, flash goes in, does pop it towards the site. There's the fight in middle still happening. Tens did find Bunny, so that's a big fight one, and that was very messy in middle, and this is all being won out so far by at least Tens' position. He's sliced in between them. There's still 2 players towards the site. Can he clear them? Yes, he can. Of course he can. It's Tens. Chaz by his side. Again, the pressure coming to that side. There's so many angles to deal with.
Absolutely, and the split through from mid is ultimately what secures that for them. Tens now 14-4. The wind heavily in Sentinel's sail.
Do you reckon it's windy out there on Breeze? Tropical breeze?
Breeze, Joe?
I'm just saying, like, would you say there was a nice, like, warm breeze?
We're scraping the barrel already.
I was going to start singing Wham! If you're not careful. You ever seen that segment, like the weather girl who's she's like, "Ah, so pale," and they didn't realise they're back live? You not seen that?
No, big swing and a miss.
Well, that's a bad miss.
8-2 though. Now Sentinels, and again F4Q back on a purchase. Bunny with the Blade Storm in hand, but just as one side, actually even more so than last time, unless this ends out 8-4. Okay, has to get a try pop through this wall, but dapper in position. The response is there, actually. Finally cleans that one up onto Esperanza. Sight heavily in control here. Probably on flank though again.
Yeah, but need to see it convert into a round now. Zumba does find Shaz, okay. Now this is let Tens work time. You make noise, he's gonna find you. Don't do that. The man's just a hunter at this point. And now 2v2, we have Bunny
go B here.
working around. Now, Bunny's going to catch at least the cross. Now, I wonder how long they look towards this angle. They will check this, surely. He's quite deep on the angle, actually. Hold on, this is a nice way to do a bit of a deeper off angle. That's one spot. The second can call for help. Doesn't need to overpeak, because you know Tens will be wanting to punish that. Yeah. And actually, Tens gets to move on. But look at the adjustment from Zumba. Super close towards the site. He's going to hear enough of his presence, and Tens is just gambling that plant. He has no idea where Zumba's going to be at this point. It's just get the rifle out and hope for the best. It's probably going to be a shot in the back. How is... Zumba's waiting so long for support to get there, I understand, but it's given Tens a bit of freedom. Given him a moment to strike, and the readjustment, he might spot the cross. He decides to pull the trigger, but the adjustment... Oh, Tens! You're an animal! How does he do it? How do you do that?
That was absolutely disgusting. The readjustment there, I think actually that's a throw out a couple of bullets and dash away. He wasn't even expecting to land that, but the adjustment, absolutely beautiful. I say that, got to credit, yes, Zumba waited a long time for that, but Bunny again, I guess, trying to do this adjustment.
Yeah,
look
okay.
at that.
Yeah, okay.
No. Oh my god.
What?
Man, that is And you're right, it's like Zumba's perspective is like, I did everything, man. I was patient, I didn't overpeak, like it was all good, and then you just got tensed. It happens to the best of people.
Imagine getting tensed.
Couldn't be me. And now, it's the last go of this half, 92. Be commanding at this point. 10's on the op. Tucked away in the corner. 5k. Pop flash comes in. Well, not even a pop flash. Deep flash comes in. And 10's follows. There's the ult coming out as well. Just going to force them into unfavorable scenarios. And 10's just lives in this mayhem. This is his comfort zone already as 5k is surrounded. I think they're going to check on this. I wonder how much he gets. Nothing. Sick denies it. This is clean from start to finish. Maybe not.
Fine, that's the headshot
On
the way out. Again, there's a couple more to deal with to get anything going there. Sentinels will close out 10-2, an actual improvement on the previous performance. Again, F4Q did start on the defense, and it was 8-4, but...
Hypoc, 10's has 20 frags.
Yeah.
I think the desk needs to break that down as we need to take a breath. So we're going to hand right back over to them. Give us your thoughts so far, folks.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypoc. Apologies, as that almost crept up on us a little bit too quickly. 10's, though, popping off along with Sentinels again on Breeze. 10-2 half for them. I mean, we've gotten pretty much everything we wanted to see out of them, Doug. We've gotten the kind of dominance and confidence that we'd expect them to step back onto stage with. But for the most part, aside from a few B hits, they've been very happy to just live on A over and over and over again.
Well, and they have found success there. Right, so like if it ain't broke, why fix it? And that's just what they've been able to exploit if they can continue to hit that space. I think from a defensive perspective, F4Q has just kind of been non-existent, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the A push, the way that Sentinels play with their Viper's Wall and the guiding light, it's not anything particularly special, but it's not something that F4Q have been able to respond very well with. They're really struggling to negate that push going into the site from Sentinels.
Now, I think perhaps more importantly than anything, what I want to know, and I want to get your opinion on here, Doug, is the Yoru play.
Look, I want to see Yoru play differently. I want to see aggressive gate crashes. I want to see you take that behind enemy lines, play off of your flash, and just wreak havoc. I think there are two things that are going wrong here for Zumba. He's dying too early. It's not aggressive. Give me more.
He wants more. We're diving back in with some more. Pansy and Hypoc, take it away.
I told you we're going to find out, how deep the rabbit hole goes, and, well, we're right back into it. This is truly the late night madness we're jumping into, and, well, it's got to start strong for F4Q, and it's not, really. They're already 2 players down.
Yeah, that's not the start to the second half you want to see.
It's not. You're right.
Zumba's still up, though, so maybe Doug will get his dream.
We hope Doug gets his dreams.
I hope so.
We love Doug.
We do.
He's a cheerful soul. He hasn't been broken yet. He's still believing in the Yoru dream, yeah.
Still pure.
So excited. And Shaz. Oh no. Shaz, the dream breaker. That's 1. That's 2. Line him up, knock him down, and there it is. Doug's hopes and dreams on Zumba right now. Oh, it's a jumping classic. It's not what you wanted to see.
Starting the round off with a prime gaming flawless here for Sentinels. 11-2 F4Q. I mean, if it's me, I'm forcing. I'm running it down.
Yep.
I'm trying to find something. I think they've got an awful lot to take away from this map. Again, things way more one-sided than last time, which is a crazy concept when you think about it, but...
Look, Sentinels want to get this done, move on from it. And again, I think this kind of comes back to that conversation about map pool. They've shown that they are actually pretty diligent at playing this. They're happy. They're just letting 10s off the leash right now.
The other thing is you just look at the number of rounds won out by just killing everyone in the enemy team. There's none of this kind of structured set pieces. It's not really.
There's good reads.
Last time it looked like a deathmatch lobby. It's looking very similar again. Sentinels actually giving nothing away with such a dominant performance there.
Well, no, they don't have to depend on that sort of thing right now. We haven't seen enough of a fight back. Now Esperanza has punished Shazam's early exploration, but Sick wants to go for a little wander as well. Now the sad fact for him is that F4Q are very deep right now, so this is going to be a long journey. And there's the first one into 10's in trouble. And we do be playing DM right now. Sick is all the way by their spawn. Fun and sunshine, there is enough for everyone, as George Michael once said. Sick. Gonna see 1, 2, and oh lordy, what the hell is going on here? Okay, Athena, what is this round?
I just watched every single one of the Sentinels players smile and go, what the hell, when they died in this round. But they keep pushing. Dapper's got himself tucked in now with 2 nano swarms to work off. Zumba has actually managed to get all the way to the back lines. Doug gets his dream.
30
Dapper
seconds
will be
left.
shut down with a flank. And it's Zoms now called upon in a 1v3. See what he can get done here. Got a specked up snake bite. Still has his poison orb, but obviously the wall invested elsewhere. Athena needs to be that first target. Ideally 45 HP. Actually, spot 1, so he's got to make a move now.
Expecting the players on the cross, but it was Athena. And as you said, you wanted him to be that first contact, maybe take the fight, and all went as planned. I mean, what a normal round we had there.
Yeah, actually, I think we're looking forward to a Telestrator segment just after this. We have to break that one down, Lauren. See exactly where things went wrong. I really want to know exactly how Zumba got into that position right here. Look, on platter.
It's all topsy-turvy.
Maybe that's Doug's second dream, is to see a Yoru round actually broken down on the analyst wall.
You know, don't let your dreams be memes. You know, you gotta chase them. For now, F4Q.
A hero rifle for Dapper.
Yeah, but look at this pop flash. Look at it! Yeah. Oh, you thought Stewie was the smoke criminal. I mean, he made it famous, but Zom's got a whole lot of utility just being lobbed his way. TP comes in, Doug grinning ear to ear. Look at him. Sheer joy, but Tens shuts it down. There's no happiness, as Tens' sweet smile is the only one we may have here. And now we still have that hero rifle knocking around. Dapper has heard these steps, and he's ready. 1. Spike spotted. Esperanza a little deeper, though. Crosshair placement not quite where he needs to be, but the adjustment's real sharp. Sips himself in a safer position to take the 1v1 if needed. He can fall away from this. He's seen the spike. He knows their intention. Calls for a bit of support. Chaz, tap away. I know the Spectre's good at range. Use it. Why are you laughing?
Because I've seen that go wrong so many times. Bunny now 24 HP. A 1v2, the spike. Still a lot of distance to close. And Dapper posted. And it'll be tapped out. Dapper will find the headshot.
Gun here.
Sentinels put themselves on map point here on Breeze.
Match point.
F4Q back down to scraps. See what they can muster together here. Zumba opening up around though, Laura.
You'd love to see it.
That's the only replay I wanted to see that round,
Yeah,
actually.
true.
The only one.
That's it. Magic. 12-3. The observers finding the bears now. And if you're wondering why the mood's a little jovial, because this doesn't have a direct impact on either team's necessarily, being eliminated or any of the such. This is just kind of closing out the stage we're in, as we all know where the teams are going after this. And we are seeing Sick knowing where he wants to go, but the problem is there's a player just off to the side, and actually, yeah, it's Zumba, of course it is. Why wouldn't he be there?
Of course. Able to actually come back and rejoin the backside of this execute, actually on the back of the lockdown being invested. The wall will actually split off the rest of site, but Tens will have a pocket to slip back into here. Bunny's got to be cautious, but no damage coming through just yet.
Tens is pushing up. We know what this Marshall can do. Already been shown by Heat once, now Tens fancies a bit of that too. Pinging out a couple here. Knows one's on the site. Gonna actually get a little closer to it. Tens! No one's fighting Tens! Someone please stop him! Oh, finally, Bunny does it! And now a 2v2! Bunny and Athena, the last two alive here, trying to do some work for F4Q, but they've been slowed down. And look at this, the spike's still on the site. It's been lost, it's just out of reach. And these two are just going to set up the firing squad. Lock it down. And what can they do to get around this? Bunny with a Marshall, Athena with the rifle, there's Dapper with the first, and Shaz actually to claim it, and now 1. It's all on Bunny. The tag ain't enough, it's Shaz to close. 13-3.
I'm not tired. Are you?
It's a statement sent. Again, we could talk about what the game plan was coming into this for both F4Q and Sentinel, but